Good morning, my millionaire growth partners. My name is Otis Tucker, the world's first trillionaire. I am creating heaven on earth, people, and the way that I do it is that I'm helping people to realize that what they consider to be their soul is the Spirit of God. Therefore, God lives inside of you, and all you have to do is take possession of that, people, and you can co-create with the Spirit of God. I am also creating financial freedom for billions of people across this world. And the way that I do it, people, is that I've realized that the greatest asset in this entire world, man, is people. Therefore, in the spirit, we are creating ways on how to help people to get paid to exist. And I know that'll materialize over time, especially with the help of the collective. Um, I am creating a million millionaires. I am the greatest leader that ever lived. I am God, people, and most important is that I manifest the words I speak. My message today, people, is, testing my powers and manifesting abilities. People, I've been on this journey now for about 4 years, since 2021, December 21 was when I started this journey. And, it's been a journey, exactly that, to go from being, I don't want to say a complete unbeliever, but somebody that didn't really put too much stock in anything about God or any of that stuff, and to watch myself evolve to being who I am right now. It's been a journey, that's very shocking even for myself. I would say for the last year and a half, 2 years, I don't even recognize myself anymore, because that's what happens, people, is that as you go on the spiritual journey, man, is that in the beginning, you start off with just what you have, your flesh, and as time goes by, as you continue to dig within to figure out who are you, and then you get to the point where you will eventually by yourself recognize that you are your soul and that you are a spiritual being having a human experience. But then to go from that to where, you really do go through the fire, though, people. When I say you go through the fire, you go to the point where sometimes I felt like I was losing my mind. There was times, man, where it's like, even though I had a lot of people around me, I was incredibly lonely. And that's part of the journey, man. It's like when you go on that spiritual journey, is that God strip you down, man. He strip you down to the bare necessities. He take away your ego. That's the last one to go, but he take away all the things you have that you've grown attached to, especially material possessions. But he strip you down, man, to where he humbles you to realize that without the Spirit of God, people, essentially, you're non-existent. You're just going through the motion of life, you know what I'm saying? In a bodily form, which that's just a small part of who you are. And it's like, it's been exciting. It's been very depressing at times. It's been crazy at times, times where things really got scary. But I'll tell you this, man, looking back, I thank God that he gave me the strength to go through all those things that I had to go through, because I'm at a point right now where it's like, you always hear these things, people, where it's like, you go through the worst stuff, especially right before you break through. And I'm just really grateful, man, that, God gave me the strength to be able to go through all of those things, man. And as I shared my journey over the years, I know that it's helped a lot of people. And I'm at the point right now, like last year, I think I always say it to you, last January 15, 2024, was when the Spirit really took control of me, like really took over my body, like for 5 minutes straight. You can always watch the video. It's January 16th is when I would have talked about it, because it happened on the 15th. But, that would share my experience as far as what happened then. And that's why I try to share things. Normally, I don't let it go too far, a day or two, no more than a week, where I talk about things that I experienced. That way, it's like time-stamped. But that's when I became my soul, and even that took meaning. It's like, it took me a while. I think after that experience was when I started declaring that I am God, because the Spirit of God was telling me exactly that's what I should be doing. And even when I tried to stop for like a month or so, it forced me back into doing it. And my point is to get to the point though where no longer, earlier this year was when I realized, I think it was back in March, it's like you say something, man, but it's like you really don't really get the magnitude of it until you're like, I remember one night I was telling my wife, I'm like, I know I've been saying it, but it's like, man, I really am the Spirit of God. I became that. And it's like, it's been a crazy journey, man. But I could tell you right now, I'm really practicing, it's like I'm embodying more of the Spirit of God, and I am becoming more of that people, because there's levels to things, And I'm at the point right now where it's like, as the Spirit used me, you know, to share downloads with the world. And it's like now I'm at a point where, the hurricane that just passed in Jamaica, ever since it was coming, I heard about it like when was it? I started praying heavy for it, I think Sunday and Monday. And I remember when they said it was supposed to come to landfall. I remember praying, I get up every day between 1 and 6 and I pray. I was praying then. And I even prayed that morning in the video. I think it was Tuesday morning when I prayed about it, or not sure exactly when I brought it up. But the bottom line is, I actually not just prayed by myself, but I asked for the help of the collective. And that's another thing, people, is that, when two or more is joined in spirit. So when you have the more people you have that join in the spiritual realm, when you pray for things, is that the more likely it is to manifest, So I definitely appreciate those people that are genuine followers of my page, and people that really watch my videos and really aim to join me spiritually, as I do indeed create heaven on earth. I appreciate you, and I thank you for your prayers. I thank you for your good intentions, your will, your positive projections towards me in this journey. And it's like we prayed as a collective that because listening to Fox News and them, man, like, it really had me shook. I ain't gonna lie to you, that damn news, them stuff will get you, stir up fear in you, and I rebuke that, man. Anytime those things try to rise, I have to intentionally state it, rebuke it in the spirit, because I understand everything happened there first before it's physically manifested. So I knew that if I was able to rebuke it in the spirit, then I can dampen, their negative projections onto the island about demolishing the island. It'll be nothing left, and all of that stuff. And I prayed, man. I prayed profusely, and as a collective, I felt y'all energy as I was praying, what we talked about diverting, because they said the storm was supposed to go directly through the island. And that never happened. Glory be to our prayers, glory be to God, you know what I'm saying? And instead he didn't completely divert back into the ocean, but he skirted the coastline instead of tearing through the entire island, and I'm extremely grateful for that. And that just goes to show me, people, that we have way more power than we think. Even for myself, it's like I'm testing the limits to this, man, because if we was able to divert an entire hurricane, then what else as a collective we can do? And I say we, people, because energetically, energy is everything. Everything is energy. So it's like, as we pray together with all positive intention for the island, for minimal damages and safety, that took effect. It might not be to a degree that everybody will be pleased with, but hey, it could have been a lot worse. And for that, I'm extremely grateful, And I think for those people down there, I know they're very grateful also that things was not nowhere near as bad as news outlets, American news outlets had predicted. I say this, man. I really hope that for those of you that are on your journey, couple of things I share with you people is just really don't be too hard on yourself. Realize that you're mostly your body now, but as time goes by, you will become mostly spirit. And really, you'll be able to control your bodily experience a lot more as you tap more into the spirit. But it is indeed a journey, people, and a process. And I just want you to just, keep exploring, keep finding out who are you, keep digging deeper, and realizing and tapping into the spirit of God, the power that God if I have inside of you, man. He's there, people. It really is. If you would have told me 5 years ago I'd be doing any of this, I'd be like, hell no. But here I am, a humble vessel that's literally God is using to not only create a world, but to lead a new world, which is indeed heaven on earth, which is all energy. That's powerful, man. We're creating something extremely powerful, people, and I just want you to know that I'm very grateful for those of you that understand the mission, man, and is willingly joining and really putting in the work that is necessary to bring about God's vision for this world. I'm gonna pause it there for right now, man. Shout out to my co-creators, man, of Heaven on Earth International. Again, people, these are the people that are helping me to create Heaven on Earth. That's what we do as a collective, because again, we understand that energy is everything, and everything is energy, you know. So we understand that every day our mission is to intentionally inject positivity in the world every day. And what that looks like, people, is intentionally choosing to inspire and motivate people, intentionally working on elevating the consciousness of people, you know. And the greatest way to do all this, people, is to continuously work on ourselves, continuously to work on developing ourselves to be bigger, better versions of who we are, you know. And as we do that, people, then we are indeed not just talking about things, but we're being the things we talk about. And that's the greatest inspiration you can give to anybody, because people listen to what you say, but above all things, they are watching what you do, people, just like you're watching me grow every day, you know. So the benefits, real quick, I say, to be a part of this collective. Number one, people, is that God's gift for you being a part of this collective and joining this collective is that you have a peace that you've never experienced before. Facts. You know, joy, people, is your portion. Happiness and joy will burst through you, man. You will find yourself genuinely happy all the time. Love, people, is our portion, you know. You'll find that people genuinely love you, man. For those of you that have good companions, I'm telling you, God will bless you. If you don't have that yet, that is your portion. That is on its way. To have a life partner that truly loves you, passionately loves you, and you love them, you know. People, also God's favor, man. God's favor is amazing. It will open doors that you could never open on your own. It will have opportunities chasing you down. Facts. Believe that when I tell you, you know. And God's blessing, man. God's will bless our hands, will bless our minds, will bless our feet as we move forward, as we take steps into our future. God is guiding your step, people, and therefore whatever we do, it must prosper. That's how that goes. That's what blessing looks like, having the Midas touch. So here's the requirements, people, for being a part of our organization. Number one is that you must choose to believe that the Spirit of God lives inside of you. Number two, people, is that, you know, you must follow my page. Follow my page, watch my videos every day, because there's specific downloads that's speaking directly to your soul to help you elevate, people, to a higher consciousness. Number three, people, is that you must speak your truth, man. In this new world that I'm creating, Heaven on Earth, is that we understand that the currency is authenticity. Therefore, you must be honest, people. Be honest with yourself. Speak the truth. And the truth that I'm referring to is not your present circumstances, because that is not your truth. That's an illusion that the Matrix forced on you to see. That is your perception, but that is not your reality. The reality that God have in store for you is the visions that God have given to you. The amazing life that you want for yourself, your amazing contribution to this world, you being the highest version of yourself, people. That is God's vision for your life, and that is indeed your reality. So as you speak, people, I want you to speak of how and what you're doing to help you materialize that, because that's the journey right there. Speak about life, the life that you're creating, people. Get excited about that. I'm excited about that for you. With that being said, people, shout out to Jamaica, man, who is the eye of this world. Shout out to Africa, who is the mother of this world. Shout out to the entire Caribbean and the African diaspora worldwide. First and foremost, man, I'll say this, you know. I learned yesterday about this, and I thought this was very awesome, and I think this is something that can benefit especially the other Caribbean islands, you know. One of the things that Jamaica did back in 21, I think it was, when Nigel Clark signed up for this, was the catastrophic insurance. I forgot what they call it, but it's some damn insurance, basically a bond that if you have a catastrophic event, there's a payout. In their case for Jamaica, it's $150 million, and the hurricane we just had, checked those boxes off, so that money is available immediately right now. Now, in the meantime, there's over $2 to $5 billion US in damages though. So that means that's a drop in the bucket. So as far as that goes, I say this. I am praying for any country right now in this world that financially give money to Jamaica. That's a seed into your prosperity, people. As you sow money into Jamaica, again, this is God's blessed land. God's hand is up on this land. And I'm telling you right now, as you sow seed into this country right now, whether it's through charity, I think there's a company out of Florida, I think it's called Gem. Bless those people, man. I saw the warehouse and all the goods that they sending home to Jamaica in the ship. I think it takes 5 days to get there, and they're flying goods down there. I don't know the people or these organizations, but I'm just saying across the country, for anybody that's making contributions and helping to rebuild this nation, because it will be 10 times better, 100 times better than it was before. Because that's what we do, people. As Jamaicans, we always come back stronger than we was before, people. We get knocked down plenty of time, but when we get up, man, do we get up strong. That's how we do, okay? So I'm praying blessings right now for those people. I don't care what you have that you can contribute, people, even if it's just spreading the message, you know? One of the biggest thing I want to say is for people that own land on the South Coast, especially down there in St. Elizabeth where you have the most damages. I'm telling you, people, do not sell your land to these corrupt investors that come down there trying to steal your land by giving you pennies on the dollars. Listen, I understand it's tough, and I pray that the government will create and find ways to funnel money to these people as soon as possible, through work, obviously. But there's so much work to be done, man. I think that this is an opportunity, again, I said it yesterday, to massively employ people, whether, especially in the construction sector as we rebuild, cleanup crews. I mean, there's so much things that are necessary, man. I want the government to really make sure we strategically come up with ways to inject money into people's pockets, man, by providing them with opportunities that can help to rebuild the nation and to put money in their pockets so these people can rebuild their lives and not be in a desperate position where they're taking pennies on a dollar just to survive. That would be very unfortunate, and that's something that I truly frown upon. I would also, man, want to highlight and shout out all these tourists, man, that was down there that really, as I was watching these clips about people that was helping with the cleanup of the resort, I'll say this, I'm very pleased and I'm very happy with that. I will say also, well, let me acknowledge that part first. I watched it. There was, all these guests that was there sweeping up, cleaning up, moving debris and all of that stuff. To me, man, that warmed my heart. That shows me that, you know what, as a collective, they're helping us, and I was very happy to see that, And then you have other people, I say this, and I hate to say this, man, and this is our brothers and sisters supposedly here. Let me tell you something. The black Americans that was down there, that was, acting all kind of crazy ways towards guests, asking for 5-star service in the middle of a freaking hurricane, man. Listen, I say this, man. I don't understand what's happening here, but I pray to God that as a people, especially for us, man, Africans, black people across the world, we should not be doing anything to affect each other negatively, man. But I say this. We have to remember, people, that we all we got, man. Nobody's coming to save us. We have to save ourselves. And there's no need or no means to belittle or tear down anybody, especially when they're vulnerable. You know what I'm saying? And for people that do that, realize that you are the problem and it's something that you got to dig within and fix for yourself, man. Nobody can do that for you, So anyways, man, I say this. These are the two mantras that we have, people. Realize this. United we stand, divided we fall. Let's not be divided and bicker about small things. Let's choose to be unite, and what that looks like is supporting each other, inspiring each other, being our brothers and sisters keeper. And number 2, people, is always each one teach one, man. My declarations over your life, people. Number 1 is that you are a millionaire. You are married to the person of your dreams. You have amazing health and is in the best shape of your life, man. My prayer for you today, people, is that the Spirit of God will continue to lead and guide you, man, to be the greatest version of yourself, shaping and molding you, man. Trust God, people. Always choose to trust God. Y'all have an amazing day. We'll talk tomorrow.